Your 9 to 5 has become a prison, and you're the only one who can break out. Every morning the alarm rings. You wake up, get dressed, fight traffic, clock in, work, clock out, sleep, repeat. Monday becomes Tuesday. Tuesday becomes Friday. Friday becomes another Monday. And before you know it, years have disappeared. Now let me be clear. There is nothing wrong with having a job. A job feeds families, pays bills, keeps the lights on. The problem begins when your job stops being a tool and becomes a cage. When your dreams are placed on hold for someday. When your ambitions are postponed until the perfect moment arrives. When you slowly begin to accept a life you never actually chose. Most people don't realize they're trapped because the prison doesn't have bars. It has comfort. Comfort is the most beautiful prison ever created. The prisoner doesn't complain. The prisoner doesn't escape. The prisoner simply adapts. And that is exactly why it is dangerous. You tell yourself you're safe. You tell yourself you'll start that business next year. You'll write that book next year. You'll learn that skill next year. You'll chase your dream next year. But next year has a habit of never arriving. The world teaches you to trade time for money. But nobody warns you what happens when time becomes more valuable than money. A man can lose money and earn it back, but nobody earns back lost years. Nobody buys another decade. Nobody purchases another youth. Nobody negotiates with time. Every day, your life is being exchanged for something. The question is, what are you getting in return? Imagine a bird born inside a cage, fed every day, protected from predators, given water, given shelter. Eventually, the bird stops dreaming about the sky. Not because it cannot fly, because it forgot it could. Many people are living exactly like that bird. They have become comfortable inside a system that rewards predictability. Wake up, work, consume, sleep, repeat. And then one day they wonder why they feel empty. It's because human beings were built to create, to build, to grow, to explore, to become. Yet many spend decades suppressing those instincts. Machiavelli understood something fascinating about power. The strongest prison is the one whose prisoner believes he is free. Think about that. Nobody forced you to abandon your dreams. Nobody physically chained you to your circumstances. More often than not, fear became the jailer. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of losing security, fear of starting over. Fear whispers, stay where you are. Be realistic. Don't take risks. And little by little, fear begins making decisions for you. Until one day you realize you're living a life designed by fear instead of purpose. But there is good news. The door was never locked. The key has always been in your pocket. The first key is awareness. You must recognize the cage before you can leave it. Ask yourself, am I growing? Am I learning? Am I becoming the person I want to become? Or am I simply surviving? The second key is responsibility. This is where most people stop listening, because responsibility is uncomfortable. It is easier to blame the economy, the government, your boss, your upbringing, your circumstances. But responsibility is power. The moment you accept responsibility for your future, you reclaim control over it. Stoic philosophers taught that freedom begins when you focus on what you can control. You may not control the market.
You may not control opportunities. You may not control other people. But you control your actions, your habits, your effort, your discipline. And those things are enough to change a life. The third key is courage, not confidence. Courage, because confidence comes after action. Courage comes before it. Many people wait until they feel ready. But readiness is often an illusion. Nobody feels ready to leave their comfort zone. Nobody feels ready to risk failure. Nobody feels ready to begin. The people who change their lives are not the people who feel ready. They are the people who move anyway. Think of the Japanese concept of ikigai, your reason for being, the intersection between what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what can sustain you. How many people spend their entire lives without searching for it? How many settle for survival when they were meant for purpose. Your job should fund your freedom, not replace it. Your paycheck should support your dreams, not bury them. And perhaps the most dangerous lie ever told is this: one day I'll start, one day I'll change, one day I'll become who I want to be. But life is built on todays, not one days. The future is nothing more than todays repeated over and over again. If you spend today making excuses, tomorrow will look the same. If you spend today growing, tomorrow begins to change. You do not need to quit your job tomorrow. You do not need to gamble everything. You do not need some dramatic overnight transformation. You simply need to begin. Read one chapter. Learn one skill. Save $1. Take one step. Build one habit. The cage was not built in a day, and freedom is not achieved in a day either. But every step matters. Every choice matters. Every disciplined action matters, because one day, years from now, you will look back on this moment and you will either be grateful that you started or regret that you waited. Remember this: your 9-to-5 is not the prison. The prison is believing that your current situation is your final destination. The prison is abandoning your potential. The prison is convincing yourself that there is no alternative. The prison is forgetting that you were born with the ability to choose. And the beautiful truth is this: the door has been open the entire time. You are not trapped. You are standing at the threshold. The only question is whether you will walk through it. If this message awakens something inside you, subscribe and join the Inner Circle, because every day we challenge the beliefs that keep people small and explore the wisdom that sets them free. Until the next lesson, guard your time, invest in your future, and never mistake a cage for a home.